So the next session is all about how we improve Microsoft 365 instant management with Power BI. So I'll hand over to the two presenters, Kevin and Charlotte.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I will share my screen again. And it's okay for all? You see my screen? Yes, okay. So hello everyone, and we are really very happy to be here with you virtually this morning. This is a real opportunity for us to share with you our feedback of the next of the years, and we hope this can help you in your businesses too. And without further ado, we will begin. First of all, I click on the OK. First of all, here's something really very important. We invite you to give what you can to help the children of Chicago Public Schools through Children First Fund. It is very simple to give. Just scan this QR code, and it's done. You have also you could also help us to improve this conference. And the next one, by answering this survey, it is just simple as to give. It's also enough to scan this QR code also, and we could also say a very big thank you to our sponsors. Thanks to them. And you have here an opportunity to win also raffles and giveaway. And you can participate to win prize draw and win fabulous gifts. So feel free to Twitter about conference with the hashtag M365She22. And if it's okay for you, we could begin. Okay, and first, now it's time to introduce ourselves. And Charlotte, it's yours.
Yes. So hi everyone, I'm Charlotte. I'm French. I think it's obvious that we are French because of our accent, but it should be okay. So I am a Power BI expert. I'm working on Power BI since 2015 now. So basically my goal is to help my clients to understand the data and to take decision, the right decision based on that. And so my co-speaker today is Kevin. Kevin, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you. So I'm, like Charlotte says, I'm Kevin, and I'm a Microsoft MVP from 2012. I work on SharePoint and Microsoft Teams with my customers in France. And I'm also the founder of the company Modernize and the president of Microsoft French communities. You can also contact me through LinkedIn. You see here the link to direct contact with me. And if it's okay for you, we could start the presentation. And as you have understood, Charlotte and I work together to help our customers improve these best practices of using Microsoft 365. And so we will introduce you. We embark our customer on this road of improvements to be better and to have a more better experience with Office 365. And I will introduce also our customers because our customers and its context is really important to understood what we have built in with Charlotte. And first, I would like to share with you who is these customers where we work. And these customers is okay. It's really difficult to. Our customers is a large company in France that works in insurance, mainly for automotive, but also for other services, housings, and many other services. And this company have or counts many users. As we see in France, this company counts 10,000 users whose main business in insurance, and it is the service to the members. So you will understand that these users are not computers enthusiasts as we can be with Charlotte, no technician, and therefore this explains, among other things, and the calls they make to the support cell when they are unable to perform manipulation on the product of Microsoft 365. And our customers says to us, Charlotte and me, and that's where we come in, because our customers at the beginning of the year 2021 ask us, following a large number of calls on the product of the suites, to look at why we had so many calls, and what if eventually you had the possibility to reduce them. And also when you call the support teams, you have also a cost, and behind this cost, our customers would like to improve the cost of management of these calls and decrease the number of incidents. I think you would like to view what number of calls I speak, and the next is the table of beginning. I present to you the total of incidents that we had at the end of January 2021, which is our starting point, and another of the indicator on these 700 calls, and the number of, finally, the percentage of those calls that were not categorized in the support team tool. Now I will pass the floor to Charlotte again to explain the different steps of our journey to solve this problem. And so, Charlotte, it's yours.
Thank you, Kevin. So the first step to understand what we can do was to understand what kind of data we can get. So what kind of data we can get, where we can get it, and how we can read it. That was the first step. So if you go to the next slide, Kevin, please. So what we did an inventory of all the sources that we can have. So the one that you see in pink is the one that was for us the priority. And the one that you see in purple, it's something that we want to explore in the future. So we are going to show you the pink part, but not the purple part. Maybe next time we will be able to show you the purple part. So I will go deeper on each tools. The first one, the issue declaration tool, basically it is the help desk. So when you have an issue, when something is not working, let's say your Outlook is not working, then you have to call the help desk. Someone from the help desk will fill out a form for you, and then your issue will be logged into the system. The timesheet tool is quite obvious. Almost all the company have this kind of tool. Basically, it's where you have to log all the activities you've done in the month. So for us, it is really interesting because like that, we are able to see how many days we spend on solving problems. And Twitter is not that obvious, but I don't know if you know, there is a Twitter account that's called MSTF 365 status. And in this account, basically, each time that something happens on the MS platform, there is a tweet on this specific account. So for us, it is good to be able to see the impact of an MS issue on our system. So can we see an increase of the number of incidents in our system each time that we have an MS issue? It's what we want to see. The O365 is quite obvious, but it's more for the use. So basically how we are using the platform and how we can improve the way that we are using the platform to reduce the number of incidents. We didn't do this as a priority, but we are working on it. So probably end of Jan or beginning of Feb, we are going to have a new dashboard. We are working with MS directly to build this new dashboard. The chatbot. So we have a chatbot integrated to Teams. So it's a second option for the user if they want to ask questions before to call the help desk. And same for Yammer. Let's say you have a question and instead of call the help desk, you can post something on Yammer and someone from the community, so basically from our teams, will answer to you. Again, we didn't take a lot of things. We didn't take this data set at the beginning simply because if it's something that is not working, so if it's not something that you don't know how to do, but it's really something that is not working, then we are going to ask you to call the help desk anyway. So you are going to go back to the issue declaration tool. So that's why it was not the priority at the moment. So now that we know what kind of data we can get, let's see how we can get it. So Kevin, if you want to go to the next slide and the next again. So we use Power BI. As we are on the O365 platform, it was for us the easiest way to get a dashboard really easily. So for the issue declaration tool and for the timesheet, you need to be on the network of the company. So we didn't have the choice at the beginning to do a manual export. So for one, it's a spreadsheet, and for the other one, it's a CSV file. So each month we are doing a manual export from these two platforms. Then we are putting those files in a folder and then on Teams. And then we are plugging Power BI on Teams. If it's not clear, please feel free to ask questions. So even if we have a schedule refresh on Power BI, so each month you have your data that it's refreshed automatically, we still have this manual step that we want to remove. We want to remove this step. We want to improve the process. So we are thinking about Power Automate. So probably we are going to put a Power Automate on this step to remove it. But as I mentioned before, as these tools are, you need to be on the network on the platform. It's not that easy for us to integrate the Power Automate. We have a lot of security rules and a big process, a really long process to be able to do it. We are working on it. It's really the next step for us is to do this part automatically. So we are working on it, but we are not at this stage yet. And for Twitter, it's really easy because there is an API on Twitter. So we are Power BI is directly linked to Twitter. So now that we get the data, let's have a look. If you want to go through, yeah. So if you plug Power BI directly and if you go to your data straight away, you can see something like this. Go to the next one, Kevin.
Yes, okay. Well, we would like to understand the data.
So this is what we done. So the goal was to have something really easy to read. As you're gonna see in the pen, this process involved a lot of business units, and so as Kevin mentioned before, with different kind of technical level. So for us, it's really important to have something clear and pretty to look. So I hope it's pretty to look for you, but for us, it was okay. So sorry, the dashboard is in French, but I will translate it for you. And again, if you have questions, feel free to ask on the chat. Kevin or I will answer. So on the top, you have the filters. So by date, for sure, and you have by tool, by categories, and by level. So the tool one is the chart that you can see on the top left. So we use a bar chart because like that, it's easy to see if one tool is really higher than the other. So for example, here it's Outlook app. It's really high compared to the other. And you can see the fourth and the fifth are really close. So they are really almost the same. But you can see the fifth is blank. So at the beginning in January, we had a lot of blank value. So it was not clean at all. And like blank doesn't mean anything for us. And if it doesn't mean anything for us, then we cannot do anything with that. So the goal was really to remove all the blank and all the stuff during the year to have something to measure. The categories is the one that you see on the bottom left. So we use a bar chart, a pie chart, because we wanted to see the distribution of the categories. So like that, it's really easy to see that you have three different categories, three main categories, we can say. The dark blue. So the dark blue is the speed. That means it's really slow to have access to your tool. So to Outlook or to Teams, it's really slow to have access to that. The red one is the assistant. That means not something that is not working, but it's something that you don't know how to do. So that means we need to focus on training. And the pink one is other. So other, again, doesn't mean anything for us. So if it doesn't mean anything for us, we cannot do anything. So one of the goals was also to remove the other things. Level, so it's the middle sections. So the second section on the dashboard is the level section. So we have three different levels in our client. Level 1, so level 1 is the help desk. So each time that you call, you are in level 1. Level 2 is if the level 1 cannot answer or cannot solve your issue, then your issue will go to level 2. And the level 3, it's us, is the expert team. That means no one knows how to solve your issue. So maybe your last chance is to go to see an expert. So one of the goals that we had at the beginning in January, it was to reduce the dark blue part, so the level 3 part. Because as you can imagine, a day in level 3, it's more expensive than a day in level 1. And I mean, our client want to reduce the number of incidents. For sure, it's about money. So this is what the first reason why we want to reduce this part. The second reason why we want to reduce this part is because if you call the help desk and if the help desk can answer to your questions, then you're going to get your answer really quickly and then you're going to be happier. If you have to go until the level 3, then maybe it's going to take a few days for us to get your answer. So even in terms of user experience, it's not that good. That's the other reason why we want to reduce this part. On the third section, you have the number of incidents. So in January, it was the first measure that we get. So only one number, it was 706, so approximately 700. Again, for us at this stage, doesn't mean really anything because it was the first measure. We know that we want to reduce this number, but for the moment, we don't know how we can reduce it, and we don't know really what does that mean. So yeah, this is the first step. What we got in January, and then now that we have the KPIs and we know how to measure what we want to improve, let's improve it and let's build a plan to improve it. So I will let Kevin to explain what we did for that. Kevin, if you want to.
Yes, if I can pass to the next slide. Okay. So thank you, Charlotte. Okay, and we now have a very interesting dashboard, and that show us indicators that will allow us to carry out concrete action with the different teams from our customers in order to deal with them problem at the source. As we also see, there is a notion of quality of code entry with the support team. And my one could see it. It's the previous dashboard, like 20% of calls to the support teams were not qualified. And when we had to set up a methodology to improve this quality of call in the input, For this, we have planned a recurring meeting every 2 weeks with the leader of support teams. And in order to review together the various incidents raised by users. This is also to allow us to write knowledge bases and update them because as say Charlotte, we have 3 levels of technician to help customers, to help users, and the level 3 who are experts write knowledge base and push them to the level 2 or level 1. And if we would like to increase the time during the users waiting solution, we would like to upgrade the knowledge of level 1 team support. And we write knowledge base and update them to access to this goal. And we do this every weeks. And also we have another part of this plan, and this part is an opportunity to update the bot. Like Charlotte says, we have also a bot who speak with users directly, and we update if necessary the knowledge of bots. And this knowledge can improve the time during the call of the users. Another part of our plan is to write the message to pass to the eldest leader team during this meeting, because we review all incidents with these leaders, and if we must pass a message to the team who respond to the users, we write the message together, and after the meeting, the leaders have another meeting with the helpdesk team and present our message to the team. And when we review the next time the dashboard, we could see if our communication with this team is efficient or not. And we would like to have a better indicator, and of course we follow this plan every 2 weeks, and also took the opportunity to add new categories if necessary. In this perspective, improve input and therefore the quality of our dashboard. And in order to be able to interpret these indicators more easily, I know, and over to Charlotte, who will details us more in and their construction. Charlotte, it's up to you.
Yes. If you can go to the next slide, please.
Yes. Here.
So yeah, we followed the plan. So here you can see the dashboard into Teams. Why? So as Kevin mentioned, we have a lot of business units in this process, and so we want to have something easy to read, as I mentioned before, but also easy to access. So we publish that into Teams. For us, it was the best option. First of all, because we have an EM license in our client. That means we have a capacity premium, and we can share with free users into Teams and SharePoint. We are using Teams all the time, every day, for everything, for the chat, for the files, and you can even imagine with COVID, I think it's the same for everyone. So it was the easiest way to have access to the info. We are using SharePoint, but not that much, and we are not using at all the MS portal. I mean, we are using it, Kevin and I, but not a lot of people are using it at all. So yeah, Teams, the best option. And also like that, like everyone has access to the same dashboard. That's mean one source of truth. That's mean same figures, same objectives for everyone. So yeah, I think it was the best option to hit the goal. So now you see the dashboard like 12 months later, so in December last year. So now we can see what's happened, what's happened with this plan. We didn't take really, I mean, we are not going to take December into account simply because in December we have 2 days of holidays in France. That means we are not really working this month. And that means it's not really relevant for us. So we are going to take November as a reference to take our conclusion is going to be more relevant for us. So on the top left, so you can see the tool, the top 5 tool. I don't know if we can set top 5, but let's say the tool that get the the most the more incident. So yeah, it's not really top 5, but anyway. So we can see we didn't have any blank stuff, so it's good because now you can measure it. So that means you can improve it. And we can see that the Outlook app is still the first, and like it's really, really higher than the other. So we really need to focus on this if we want to reduce the number of incidents.
Yes, it is. If I could, it is
Sure.
the Outlook desktop app.
Yeah, desktop
and,
app. Sorry.
Here Teams desktop app also, and here it is Outlook web app,
Online,
and Teams in online also.
Yeah. But we need to know as well that the Outlook desktop app is the one that is the most used. I mean, not a lot of people are using the Outlook online app. Also, that's one point that we need to take into account when we are looking at these KPIs, because that's mean like probably you're gonna have more incidents on the desktop app. So the categories, the bottom left, as you can see, this is a second win and a big win for us. Now the pink part is it's really small. I mean, it's only 9%. In January, we had 25%. So yeah, it's a big win for us. But it's really interesting to see that we still have a lot of dark blue and a lot of red. That means we need really to be focused on training, because assistant is it's the main part of the categories. That means it's not something that is not working. Again, it's something that users don't know how to do. So probably we need to focus on training on Outlook desktop app if we want to reduce again the number of incidents. For the level in the middle, well, it's a fail. we can say that. As I mentioned, the goal that we had in January, it was to reduce the number of the dark blue part. And as you can see, during the year, we didn't reduce that much. If you look at the bottom, you have the distribution by month and during the year, and you can see that the dark blue part is quite the same. We cannot see any changes. So yeah, it was not, I mean, we didn't succeed in this one, but it's really interesting to have a look at the one that we have on the bottom right, because as you can see, so on the dark blue, you can see the number of incidents that we have by month, and the light blue is the number of days that the level 3 spend on solving incidents. And as you can see, since May or since June, we have something quite stable. That means like we are able to manage the flow of issues with 1 or 1.5 person. So it's quite good. Probably we are in a good way, but we don't know why we are not able to reduce the number of incidents in level 3. So we need to investigate for this part. And on the top right, what you can see is the number of incidents by year, still the same, by month, sorry, during the year, still the same in dark blue. And in red, what you have is the number of posts that we got on the account that I mentioned before. Doesn't really mean anything if you are looking at this like in the entire year and as an average, because this specific KPI is to try to understand why we got peak. So you have to read it like monthly. So I took an example for you. So if you go to the next slide, Kevin.
Yes,
If you can.
yes, I do.
So here I clicked on the Outlook online part. So you can use the filter on the top, but you can also click everywhere on every chart and it will change everything. So I picked the Outlook online, and as you can see here, we had a peak in November. We had a peak in terms of number of incidents, but we also can see that in November the dark blue area, so in the middle, is higher than the other month. Yeah, the level 3 expert had to solve a lot of incidents this month. And you can see on the top right that the red line is also higher, and you also have a peak in November. So probably we got a MS incident. And so we had a look on the MS Twitter account, and yes, we saw that this specific month we had an Exchange Online issue. So probably that's why we got the peak. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of conclusion that we can get from this at the end of the year. I don't know, Kevin, if you want to do a conclusion. I don't know.
Yes, I can speak more about this dashboard because like you have says Charlotte, it's really interesting because for this years we have a new job to share knowledge with our users, because as you can see here, users don't know how we could use Microsoft apps, and we have here a new goals to decrease the calls to the support team. And also we have another goals here is to really be attentive to the M365 accounts on Twitter, to be more I don't know what we say in English, but to be more productive when an incident is declared by Microsoft, and the impact in our customers. And if we see this dashboard, and if we could with Power Automate attach or set an alert, we could be more speed to resolve this type of issue. And also if we could working on learning experience with our users, perhaps next year we see the sharp pie here change, and here this percentage decrease, and it is the goal where we would like to go. And I don't know if you have any question about how we have built in this dashboard. I don't see the chat, so perhaps if you have questions, you can write on the chat question. No, there are no questions.
There is no question for the moment.
Okay. So if you have no questions, we could conclude what we have learned from our knowledge. In this slide, finally, okay. In this slide, we learned that thanks to dashboard and work we've done with the teams who ultimately produce this data, and we are able to carry out action there, concrete correction also, as well, and I think which have improved significantly the quality of input, and when calling our users, 68% improvement over the years. It's really a best goal what we have doing, and also our monthly change support actions, and we could thanks this action because leaders who have working with us on this meeting have doing a great job, and if you see here the number of incident without categorization have really decreased this year, and it is the result of the work and the work together with the leader team of support and us, and I think the number of total incidents has decreased also, but it's not a good or a really good result, because as you have seen, the knowledge of our users is not at the top, and perhaps next year, if we show you this table, we hope to have better performance in this KPI, and so I think we could, thanks to decision-making tools as PowerBI, because without we cannot improve the incident management, and we cannot also see what is this type of incident. And I hope that this presentation you interested. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them, Charlotte and I, and we are at your disposal. I think, Nikki, you have a question?
No, so I haven't got any questions at all. It's been a very interesting session, and yeah, there's lots of interesting things that I can learn, I think, and build on the area I look at. So I tend to look at the upcoming changes to the tenants rather than the incidents, but I can see how I could make use of what you've been doing with the Power BI to visualize it better.
So thank you. I have another slide. It's just a repeat of the first slide, and we could finish. So here it's one last concerning the opportunity to make a donation for Chicago public schools. Do not hesitate to do it. It's always simple. Just scan the QR code. And the next, if you would like to help us to improve this conference and the future of conference, do not hesitate also to note our session, in this case, in the last code here. And finally, big thanks to our sponsors. Without them, we could not speak here. And if you would like to win a gift, you could click here. You could click here, and don't forget to win a prize. It's really simple, and you can also win a gift card of Amazon and, for example, an Xbox. And if you do not have also other question, it's the end of this presentation. So we see you soon, and stay fit and healthy, and we wish you a happy new year.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much for your presentation. The next session will now take place in just under 20 minutes time. So thank you very much to the speakers. It was a very interesting and useful presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.